We got some brand new Assassin's Creed Mirage footage and big details. It seems like the game is even bigger than I first expected, even though Ubisoft is of course selling it at a lower price point. Like for one, it takes around the 20 to 30 hours to beat the game, which according to the lead producer in an interview with French YouTuber Julien. There are of course many playtesters playing the game right now, and on average it takes them around the 20 to 24 hours to beat the game. It would be up to 30 hours to really do everything, and if you would rush it, it would still be 20 hours. Now, I totally think that people will finish the game in 15 hours though, if you really focus on the main story, but I still think this really solid and comparable to the first AC and Revelations, for example, which of course kind of the plan in terms of going back to the roots. Of course, let me know what you think after hearing these numbers in the comments down below. And we now also learned that next to the main story and that contract board, there will be world events like in Valhalla, and they mentioned that treasure maps will be back, and I'm sure that these will take us outside of Baghdad, as of course next to the city that's a bit smaller than Paris from Unity, there's also this desert area to explore outside the walls. I still think that we can only use our mounts in this area, but I would love to be wrong. Now, but expect similar treasure maps as we, for example, saw in Valhalla, that will tease a specific location where we can then hopefully find something meaningful. There will also be new specific activities such as pickpocket, contracts and roaming targets to tackle inside the world. When I think of roaming targets, I immediately think of the Villaki bosses that we saw in Origins, although it's probably something else here. And the photo mode will, by the way, also be back. Expect the same one as in Valhalla, only the nostalgic filter that we can also use while playing the game can also be activated to take shots. So I totally want to do a photo mode highlight at the end of launch Mirage videos, so that would be fun. And there's way more news to go over here, including that new gameplay. Of course, if you are excited for the game, then leave a like, that would really help me out. And subscribe, because I got way more Mirage videos like this coming your way. But first, the sponsor of this video, one of the most popular games on the planet with 850 million players worldwide, Dungeon Fighter Online. It's completely free and just got a big update that introduces the new Archer class with 2 special advancements that have completely different playstyles. Finding the best way to kill hordes of enemies by chaining together combos is really key to clear the dungeons solo or with friends. I love the unique art style, and overall the game is huge with a ton of content to play through, over 60 class advancements to play with, including those new ones, the Muse that with the power of music can apply buffs, and the Traveler that focuses on damage and is more action packed. And there are now limited time events to celebrate the launch of the new class that all give amazing rewards. So you want to be fast and check the game out right now for free via the special link in the video description, and only enter this code in the coupon options menu for a ton of extra gifts, including an outfit. So I want to thank Neeple for sponsoring this video. Check out Dungeon Fighter Online, which would also support the channel. And now let's get back into it. Ubisoft has been slowly releasing new Mirage gameplay, highlighting the different tools, like the noisemaker that they now just randomly drop next to enemies. But yeah, this makes sure that Basim can jump down and hide. And this, by the way, that same location that we saw in the gameplay walkthrough, so a different approach instead of using the assassin's focus. The next one is pretty interesting, as in this Instagram footage they show that you can aim and throw the red smoke bomb as well, instead of only dropping it down. And I think this is the first time that we see this yellow effect, indicating that this is your last known position for these guards. So now you can quickly get away. And next to stunning enemies, the smoke bomb can also be upgraded to give you healing when you stand in the smoke or deal damage to enemies. So maybe even kill targets, which would be useful. The regular blow dart, of course, puts enemies to sleep, which we also see in this cool footage in the garden. But upgrades can apply poison or rage to the enemy, so then they will attack their colleagues, similar to what we saw in Black Flag and Origins. And we also got new gameplay of the trap that is used to knock down enemies for a long period of time, but can also be upgraded to kill enemies instead. And I already mentioned Origins, and overall the whole exploring a desert and Mediterranean setting kinda gives me the same vibes. And now the art director also mentions that there will be in-game items that will definitely remind you of Origins. I mean, we got the camels back, so maybe some of the variants from Origins will be in Mirage as well. Developers, if you're watching this, give us Gerta from the Hidden Ones DLC, please. fingers crossed. Although you can keep the choke camel, like, I'm good. Although, let me know in the comments if you want that Final Fantasy Easter egg in Mirage as well. No, but I totally think that we will at least see some origins, like outfits, maybe legacy outfits, or stuff that we could get at Weavers in that game. Maybe they bring back the Izu outfit that we first saw in Origins, as in regards to Izu elements, Ubisoft will definitely have some surprises in store in Mirage. Like, there won't be a big modern day component, only at the start of the game, but still having new Izu revelations could be interesting. And you might know about something Izu related at the Hidden Ones Fortress, Alamut, that is still under construction during Mirage. I will leave it at that, as it will probably play a role in this game. And I would not be surprised if Darby helped with this part, as he now publicly on LinkedIn notes that he did some additional writing for Mirage next to being the narrative director on Hexay and Assassin's Creed Infinity, where of course the modern day story will live, starting with Red. Ubisoft Bordeaux is a relatively new studio working on Assassin's Creed. The only thing they did before this is Wrath of the Druids, so having a veteran help them out is of course great. We also got brand new art from a Chinese retailer, but in particular this image is interesting as it reveals more icons for skills we can probably unlock in Mirage. We've already seen some of them in the short skill menu footage that they showed, like Airstrike, where you slow down time while aiming with throwing knives mid-air. This is Kickback, where you can kick an enemy after a successful parry, and they also showed Breakfall in that footage, which used the exact same icon that we also saw in Valhalla. So high chance other skills with the same icon work similar to how they functioned in Valhalla as well. Like, we learned about some new ones that will be in Mirage, but first a quick recap of what I discussed before. So this is then Chain Assassination to kill a second target. This is the counter roll, where you appear behind an enemy after dodging towards them. This auto loot, where you immediately loot a target after you assassinate them. And well, now again, thanks to this new image, we also know about more returning skills. Like, this is the exact same icon as Missile Reversal in Valhalla, so maybe Basim can also catch a projectile and throw it back to the enemy like Eivor. This is the Brush with Death skill, so where you slow down time after a dodge, which could totally come in handy as Basim can quickly die in melee combat. Then this one looks like Stomp from Valhalla, although Basim brutally stomping like a Viking doesn't make a lot of sense, but what we did see in the gameplay is that a similar right analog stick button prompt appeared, so maybe this skill unlocks the ability for Basim to kill knockdown targets in combat. This eye skill I think looks a bit similar to the Stealth Recon, where you would highlight enemies when crouched, so maybe it's similar. Of course, as always, also here, these are my theories. Yours are more than welcome in the comments down below. But what is interesting, and maybe you noticed this as well, is that in the in-game skill menu they showed, we only see just a few of the skill icons that we see in this new promotional image, with not a lot of space to add the others. They also suggest that there are only 3 skill trees, the Scorpion, Spider and Eagle, while in this image we also see the snake, and this snake-like image is used more broadly also on the website, for example. So I think it would be weird if these creatures are for a skill tree but the snake is not. So either the skill menu is outdated, we see that it was from April 21st, 2023, so a while ago. Maybe this promotional image is showing things that won't be in Mirage, which I don't think makes sense, because why make tweaks to the skill icon for the Brush with Death, for example, if we won't see that in the game? No, my theory right now is that during the story something happens that then has us unlock this 4th skill tree, which includes a lot of the skill icons that we don't see in the current menu. And you can probably guess what the icon for Loki is, right? And as always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. Not only subscribe for way more Mirage videos like this, I will keep you up to date on all the news, new gameplay, etc. A like, again, would be really appreciated. Thanks again to Dungeon Fighter Online for sponsoring the video, helps me grow the channel. You can check the game out via the special link in the video description. And my previous Mirage video with way more new details that you maybe missed can be watched by clicking on the screen. I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.